Despite not sleeping again, I thought it'd be a good idea after my morning miles walking to get on the old trusty steed and do this little 10K loop I have. This thing is definitely a beast. It's really nice and strong, and I'm glad I got it, but I just did a 42-minute 10K, which is pretty funny. It's pretty dang slow. It's called a Townie. As you can see, the Electra. Nice little bike. It's got big old 27-inch tires, 40 pounds. It just doesn't move, and then the wind resistance sitting upright like this. I like this little pack. I put my phone in it. I got my spare tire, Om Pabu, whatever that is called. So the only thing I did was I did change the seat. The seat it came with was terrible. It was super hard. No, it was super big and cushy, but not really. So I got this bike almost a year ago. I had my fall on March 9th where I couldn't walk, and I was being really frustrated. And so, look at the tree next door. It's really nice. So I was really frustrated, and my friend Scott Burton, Canadian 6-day racer that I walked with many, many miles, he suggested me getting a bike just so I could have the wind blowing through what little hair I have. And so looked online. Of course, during COVID, bikes became pretty scarce. We have a bike shop called Schneider's that's been around since like 1908 or something crazy like that. So the old original one on Baker Street I used to shop at when I was 15 years old, 40 years ago. So but that one burnt down, and they opened up a new one over on Union. And so we went over there and had to like wait outside because they only had 3 people in the store at a time. And it was interesting. So Blanca waited out in the car, and I went inside and I looked at a bunch of different bikes. I've been kind of really fascinated by the whole gravel bike thing, but I got rid of my mountain bike 10 years ago. And because I knew you couldn't have a mountain bike with full suspension, not full, but front suspension, and be afraid to ride off a curb. So, my whole rule is stay healthy. So I got rid of it. I sold it to a young guy who used it for transportation. So that was good. And so I go in the bike shop. The kid that worked there was pretty friendly. I looked at some of the gravel bikes before he came to me, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting on one of those. They look too scary. Not going to do a road bike. Don't want to get all that gear and all the expectations. I just wanted something to tootle around. And then he showed me this. It's kind of like a beach cruiser almost. And it's got, and so it's nice and sturdy. And he said, well, you should get the step through, which that's what it is, as you can see. And in fact, it has the shifters right there. And it's a manual shifting kind of thing. Sorry, I should flip the switch over, but I can't do it on this camera for some reason. But anyways, so it's got the step through, and that was pretty good because I couldn't even lift my left calf, really. Yeah, so it's got this step through design. Thing is sturdy as all heck, obviously with my 250-pound frame. It's probably why my rear end hurts so much. But I wanted to show you the shifting here. It's a 9-speed automatic shifting. I'm sure you guys are like, oh, hey, old man, that's nothing new. And then I really kind of like the disc brakes too. There's the disc brakes on them, so those are very user friendly. So the kid there at the shop showed me this bike, and he's like, well, you want it for a test ride? And I hadn't been on a bike in like a decade. And I was thinking, well, if I can go out and ride around the parking lot, I'll definitely buy it. And of course, when I went out to the parking lot, there was 3 or 4 people standing there waiting to come inside. And I thought, this is going to be interesting. I have to get on this bike in front of all these people and not crash. And I can't even walk. So if I do crash, I'm in trouble because my left calf was just completely destroyed at the time. So I wheeled it out, got on it, wheeled around the parking lot, shifted gears and said, okay. And so he went and tuned it up and bought it and came home. I went out and did a 5K ride, one of my normal loops. I could barely make it up the little baby hills underneath the underpasses. And oh my gosh, I was so exhausted coming back. I was definitely winded, but it was good to just get moving and be outside because I hadn't for a few weeks. So that was a big thing for me. You should check out this thing that's driving by. Let me see if I can get it. You can see him riding by. It's like a baby chopper. Crazy stuff. So I, rode it some, and then I got some rollers. Then I was riding in my house, but with these big ass tires, it was way too loud. That's why I got my Pro Form spin bike, and I ended up selling the rollers on the Nextdoor app to a young lady that lives in my neighborhood. So hopefully she's using it. I'm planning on trying to ride this more, especially at noon. It's warm enough now. And then in the summer when it's really hot, I don't mind getting some heat training. Get an extra 30, 40 minutes of cardio. You can really tell with my heart failure, though, I just can't get my heart rate up. My legs will be kind of burning, and my heart rate will be 90 if you look at my stats, which I'll talk about later today. And I think maybe it's, part of that whole ejection fraction. When I was in the hospital, my ejection fraction was in the teens. Now it's supposedly in the 30s, and so that means that the left ventricle is only clearing out 30%. And that might be why I just can't move. The heart's not beating, but it's also just not pumping out enough oxygen. Sorry, my nose is itching. And so that's why my legs are burning. And that, kind of feels like when I'm at altitude. So this be my new reality. I'm just grateful I can get out and move. And I'll have my pre-congestive heart failure marks and my post-congestive heart failure marks. So that's about it for today on this bicycle ride. At least I stayed upright too. I know I should probably wear a helmet, but I average 8 miles an hour, and I probably should get a helmet. Yeah, because I am violating my rule of stay healthy, be boring, not epic. I used to use this gizmo to hold my phone, but it holds it, but it's kind of a bitch to get in and out. It's called a Night IZ. So now I got this bag instead. The phone goes in there, and actually that plastic, you can actually manipulate the buttons, but as you notice, I didn't do a video on the bike because I don't trust myself yet. Getting better on it, but I certainly not gonna be filming anything or even checking my phone. So, and then it opens up here, and I've got my spare tire and some tire irons that I of course dropped in this Topeak tool. I just ordered a pump because obviously, as you can tell, I don't have a pump. I have a really nice air gun pump to pump the tires before I head out, but I don't travel with one. Of course, right now I'm only doing a 3 mile out and 3 mile back, so I could always walk it in, or I could just give my wife a call and have them come pick me up. Tire irons are called Park Tool. God, that company's been around forever. I remember using them back when I was actually a fast triathlete.